So they've got these nails protruding from the basement walls. And most of them are hammered down. But then it's like, there's some of them that aren't. And so it's just, it's kind of bizarre how this works, especially considering it's on styrofoam. And there's another one, that's 2. And there's another one, that's 3. I mean, I guess they used needle nose pliers to bend them over or something. Oh, this is my favorite. This is my absolute favorite. This clipboard was on the wall here when we moved into this place that Century 21 rented out to us. How does it work? It normalizes it. Hey, these aren't spikes. This is for hanging stuff on the wall. This is for hanging stuff on the wall. It has the spikes have utility. You can use them for stuff. It's useful. There's another one. And another. And another. And another. And there might be a few more, but this place has a lot of problems. Take a look at our public safety liability here. The credit card protects the gas pipe from rupturing. But my favorite is the floor, the way it's cracked. The cracking, the way it protrudes, the floor, it's concentrated in, I don't know, it's like the way the cracks all kind of merge together in either triangles or deltas, Ys, but it almost feels like there's something there, you know? It's almost like there's something underneath there. Oh, by the way, I love this pipe. It's just right there. It just gets in your way. I love that. That's the best. By the way, guys, these jacks, they're not attached to the ceiling joists. Let the good times roll. That's not the only one. There's another one. And by the way, there's no evidence that there was any fasteners there ever. So, before people think that, something funny is going on. But getting back to the floor, there's another crack. There's another concentrated crack there as well. There's another one. There's another one. Do basements crack this way normally? And this is the best one. It's like it just pops right out of the basement. It's not the only one. And then we have this one here. We also have another one here. One over here. Another one over here. This plumbing is spaghetti. There's no reason to do plumbing like that. And look, all the pipes are touching one another. They're all touching one another. Hot and cold pipes touching one another, designed to rust intentionally. I mean, that's just silly. Good luck trying to figure out what all these pipes do. It's a freaking maze. It's an absolute maze of pipes. You got electrical ductwork holding up electrical holding up ductwork. So let's put a little piece of styrofoam there. There's another one. And another. These pipes here. And by the way, these are all too close as well. You can see they're all rusted, but they come down. And you're supposed to use those things, but you know they just kind of dangle there. So where's the stress point? Right up there. What do you think's going to happen after you use them a little while? You're gonna get a leak. What do? You got to turn off the main water. And by the way, I love this. There's another hot and cold point where they touch. So likely there's some rust there. I don't know, but not quite sure what to make of this stuff here. But water comes in. Got your ground line. And there's your problem. There's your number one demolition problem right there. By the way, well, I mean, you can see it's rusting. It's cemented. They cemented the water main pipe coming into the house, into the ground, so that demolishing this house would be an absolute nightmare. How do you do it? You have to alert the public 1 month in advance that the water's going to be shut off for 24 hours or 48 hours. A month goes by, shut the water off, you depressurize the lines for 24 hours, or at least as long as it takes. Maybe encourage the locals to waste water during this time. And basically, once the lines are depressurized, you come in here, you get some cement saws, you cut around the pipe like a pizza pie, maybe jackhammer it, get the stuff out of there, try not to mangle the pipe. Now you gotta dig about 6 feet of dirt out of there so you get to the main water ingress. You got to cut that pipe. You're going to cap it. You got to fill the hole. You got to put the rubble back in, the cement back in the hole, or whatever it can fit. And then you tear the house down and clear everything out as fast as you can. And by the way, the gas has to be turned off too. But here's the problem with the gas. It's against a neighboring house, which means that even cutting the gas pipe and trying to get the house to collapse in on itself, you're not going to be able to bring an excavator around this side of the house because it's next to a neighboring building. So that's another challenge of demolishing the place. They've got a lot of pipe work here that's underneath this main entrance. It's a service entrance, and so this is the service entrance platform. And so there's only the one piece of plywood holding up this corner of it. So, and I mean, like, I don't think the stairs are mounted into anything, so, I don't think the stairs are really supporting the beam structurally. So, I mean, maybe a little bit just by coefficient of friction, but other than that. So yeah, I don't know. It just seems to me that, the plumbers and, the gas, it makes sense to stuff the water heater and maybe the furnace under the stairs, but it doesn't make sense to have the critical infrastructure for it so close underneath the service entrance platform. And here's an absolute situation where it's being supported by the ductwork. I mean, it's just touching it. Here's one of my favorites. They've pinched the electrical against the support beam, against the plumbing pipe, and I'm not sure if that's hot or cold, but judging by the color, though, I'd say, well, I'm not too sure, to be honest. But yeah, this is this house is just bizarre. It's just bizarre. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what to make of this house, other than to guess that it violates so many code. Here's another one. There's these light switches. This panel. It just floats here. These things, they do nothing. It's completely supported by the electrical. No joke. This thing's got to be like 15 pounds. Anyways, I think that's probably as much as I can figure out. I mean, they got a smoke alarm that's wired into the mains, which doesn't make any sense because the whole point of using fire alarms is for them to not depend on electricity from the mains so that they can detect a fire in case there's an issue. What else? Hot water pipe strikes the gas line. And of course, it couldn't be cold water pipe. No, it's got to be the hot one. So that's that seems like an intelligent decision to me, because it seems like, we've got multiple instances where hot water pipes are interfering with other systems. And, there's other violations which are minor. Like, for example, there's some zigzagging of wires here. So they'll zigzag this guy, and it doesn't make any sense, right? It doesn't make sense to thread the electrical through or in between the plumbing systems. So that's why I figure, this house, it has a hell of a character. They consider this house haunted, but the house has like the serious mold and mildew. There was a locker here for clothing. I moved it in here. But this bad boy, this huge thing, and it's heavy. They had it over here when I moved in. Why? So they could hide that. And so, you know, it's kind of terrible down here. It kind of smells. Oh, that clipboard though, you know, that's my favorite. It's like, how do we make it look like the spikes aren't dangerous at all? Let's normalize it. That's a good one, guys. Okay, so that's a wrap. I think that, you know, I made my point. We're kind of living in a ticking time bomb here of sorts, and you know, it's like this place was designed so that you cannot demolish it. There is a way to do it. It's not easy. And the stress on the beam, because the beam is going this way. And by the way, this thing doesn't even, you know, this thing doesn't even move. Like, this thing does not move. You can see where I creased it before. And I just moved it because, well, it's kind of a lot of pressure. So what does it do, though? It puts pressure on, it puts force on the pipe this way, which doesn't really do much on this side. But then if you look on the other side, the force is going this way. So what happens there? It's this joint and this joint. One of them will come loose. One of the seals will loosen. And I mean, it probably won't leak gas right away, but that is a, you know, I don't know what country you can live in North America where this flies. Like, it's just, look, this is a public safety liability. I mean, I don't understand who looked at that and said, oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'd let my kid, Century 21, they said, hey, I'd let my kids live here. I'd tell them, oh, it's okay. Anyway, I think I've made my point. Thank you for watching, folks. Hope the video wasn't too unpleasant. And that will be it. So have a great day.